our shields. Lock phasers and return fire.
Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be having a look at technology. So this will be a tutorial on how to manage your technology. As I know there's been some people on Reddit and some of the forums not sure how the technology and the randomness of that technology tree works. So we're going to go through this in quite some detail today because it can be quite intricate, and we don't yet have a tech tree on the wiki that we can really delve into to get to the nuts and bolts. And when we do, I'll go into a video on that. But what I'm going to do today, I'm going to use the Solaris tech tree as an example because I've gone through the leaders, the scientists, and with all of these traits, like you see here, research speed, new worlds, you've got research speed, industry, research speed, computing, they're all exactly the same as Solaris. So the scientists have got all the same traits as what you'll find in Solaris, which to me basically says it's the same game mechanic. All right, so let's delve into some of the basics of research. So your research is up here. At the moment, I've got 648 research, which is, it's okay for this time of the game. Not great, but it's not bad either. So what details you see here? You can see how much I'm producing, 668 research at the moment. My base, 33, stations, 23, jobs, 612. So it's consumed minus 20, and that's from leaders. Leaders are consuming a bit of research. Now, what you can also see there is I've got stored research of 52,144. Now, that stored research is the research you get from events, missions, where you see you get 5,000 research here or 3,000 research there. This is where it goes. It goes into that stored area. And how that gets applied is if you look on your technology tree, your technology screen, you hover over your percentage here, because this is your research speed. This is how much faster your research will research than the base rate that it shows you. So what you'll see here is the base number is this figure divided by 3, spread across your 3 different areas of society, physics and engineering. Then you'll see the percentages, which are based on your scientist skills, traits, and your empire, any benefits you got from your empire as well. Now down the bottom you see stored research, 216 points. So your stored research, the 52,000, will get applied at a rate of 668.87 per month, exactly matching your produced level, this level. And then it gets divided by the same rate amongst these 3. So my base rate is 216, and it'll also be using my stored research at 216 per month. So effectively, I'm doubling my research speed or output for that month. And that's how stored research is used for each category. It applies it at your base rate of tech research. So each level will be doubled. So while I have stored research, I'm effectively doubled my research rate. So you'll be able to complete these technologies a lot quicker than what you would be if I didn't have that stored research. So that's how stored research is applied and how it can be really effective. Now, some of the technologies you'll notice will, at the moment, these would highlight green if my scientists had one of these scientific fields, field manipulation, military theory, or industry, which is linked to the current tech. So what that would mean is I would get a bonus to this research speed if I had industry on here. At the moment, my engineering research has Voidcraft plus 15%. But if I had the industry, I would get plus 15% speed on top of this. Now you can see here, I've got 123% research, whereas these have got 18%. Now, the main difference here is I have a research agreement with another empire. And you can also see I've got a civic and diplomatic scientist plus 70%. So that's from one of my civics. They get plus 70%. And the research agreement is plus 25%, as I've got numerous research agreements with a few minor worlds and also the Klingon Empire. So the Klingons must have already researched this, which is a very early tech, to be honest. It's only 2,500 points to research. I just haven't had this come up much. So you can see there you can get significant speed bonuses if you do research agreements with other empires, as they've already researched that tech. You get a 25% bonus. And keep an eye on your civics as well, as they will offer other bonuses. Now I'll come back to the leaders in a minute. I just wanted to cover some of the other basics of your tech. So here in my home world, I've got quite a lot of research buildings. The basic research buildings provide 2 jobs, 19 base research production at the moment. It was a little bit low at the start of the game, but there are a few buffs which boost that for the base production of 4 minerals. So if I click on there, it shows me what's going on here. So if I upgraded it, it'll cost me 1 strategic resource, which is your tetrons, to upkeep that building if I upgrade it to the next level. It will also give me research output plus 5%, and it'll also provide 2 more researcher jobs, which means it will increase my base production for 4 jobs to 37 research for 8 minerals. So it just basically means I can employ more people in this one building, making it more efficient rather than having to build more buildings. So I could effectively more than double my research output by upping these buildings. But you just have to be mindful, it does take strategic resources to upgrade some of these buildings, and the other buildings will need different strategic resources to upgrade. There's an upgrade cost down the very bottom there. You see it takes 151 days presently, 420 minerals and 35 tetrions. I think that's how you pronounce it. Tetrions, yeah. So there's a initial cost to it, and also there's an upkeep cost of 1 tetrion. So every building you upgrade will need a monthly upkeep of 5 energy and 1 tetrion. So it's not exactly cheap until you get a bit later in the game and have a good industry and producing lots of strategic resources. And that's the basic way to generate research. Now what you also want to look at is your planetary buffs. Now I don't have any buffs here because this is my home world for tech research presently. But if we go to another planet, I think Vulcan's got one at the moment. Yeah, research jobs plus 1 and 50% research output. So if we have a look here, it says my base production for research is 24 per 4 minerals, rather than Earth, which has 19. So it's not quite 50% because of the benefits your capital gets with higher habitability and higher stability. And if that was 100%, if increased a little, it'd be even better, because you can see the benefits to resource output for jobs, 25%. That applies to research as well. So I'm getting a increased benefit to your research production via the higher stability and habitability on this planet. And also the higher the habitability, the lower the costs to for your job-based upkeep. So let's have a look at Vulcan. It's the same production there for Vulcan, but Vulcan's habitability is 85% presently, so I get those negative benefits. And my stability is not that high at the moment, so I'm not getting that much of a bonus at present. So if we look at jobs and we look at our researchers, click on there, we can see each one is producing 11.5 or 11.8, because these will be subject to each species happiness. That one's producing 13, 12.7. And if you want to see exactly why these different pops are producing more, click on that one, hover over there, and it gives you the breakdown of all the percentages of why this pop is producing more research. So we've got 50% bonus there from neural roots, which will be the planetary bonus, 15% empire-wide, high planetary stability 5.10, negative 7.5 from the habitability of the planet, founding member plus 10%, sharp wits plus 20%, and we've also got the 25% bonus at the very top. So compare that, you go to another pop and we go, all right, why is this guy only producing 11.5? Hover it over there and you can see there, what are we missing there? So I think it was the sharp wits plus 20% and trusted member is 5%. So founding members 10% and the Tellarite is a founding member, so he's got 10%, so that's 5% there, and he's got sharp wets plus another 20%, so that's why he's producing a little bit more than the other population. So that's how you can look at your pops, and you can see all the breakdowns as well for your costs there as well. So your planetary habitability is increasing upkeep. So it's important to know what's going on here so that you can see how each pop could be more efficient. Because if you've got a research well, probably on this planet, if it's 13, you might want to consider going, all right, I don't think I can do it the Federation. You might want to grow with your population. You might want to grow, you might want to say, oh, I want to grow just Tellarites on this planet because I want the research to be higher. But I don't get that option as, oh, it's Vulcan. Yes, Tellarite there. Yep, so I could change that. But then I think there's a penalty. Yep, minus 10% population growth if I force growth this pop on the planet. So it's a choice between accepting a bit slower population growth, which you can offset with extra technologies and stuff as you go, in buildings and jobs and that as well, with medical centres and other things. Or you can just accept slightly reduced research. It just depends what type of person. Do you want the maximum efficiency and having the Tellarites provide the most research possible, but with slightly less population growth? So they're the type of things you can min-max and work out for yourself what type of planet you want, what type of empire you're running. You might only have a handful of planets and you just want a few, a dozen big planets and not too much to manage, and you want to get the most jetty planets, then you've got to consider these type of things. All right, now I'm going to delve into an area which is a little bit more complicated. So the other thing you could do as well, if you've got a research ship, before I get into the other area, because if you right click, you can do assist research on your planet, which will give a bonus to that planet's research abilities. So if you've got scientists and science ships sitting around unused, consider sending them to your research worlds and assisting the planet's research. The other thing to do is Vulcan is set as a tech world. So you can change the planetary designation. So tech world will provide 25% tech output, but minus 10% metallurgist output, which is fine. So it just means that you can research more tech here. You can still produce energy, minerals and food. It'll just mean you're not getting as much metallurgist output from your industrial districts if you have any on your tech world. So just be wary of that. It's another way to boost your research. Also consider decisions. You can increase the amenities of the planet, increasing the happiness. So let's say, we'll get to that one in a minute, go like that. We're currently 67%, which gives us 5.1% research. Let's just play it and see how much that boosts it up by. Oh, there we go. There we go. Just clicked over after about 10 days or so. It depends when it updates on the tick of the month, when it happens during the month. So now you can see resource production is up 8.7%. So now my population will be slightly higher again. The Tellarites will be producing a little bit more. Let's check that. So it was 13.2. So bumped it up a little bit. But if we can get that up higher, because if you get up into the 90s, and the way to do that is I'll just say we replace that to bring up the buildings. You can do that by building the holographic environment simulator if you want to. That gives a nice bonus to amenities. The other thing you can do is medical centers. I always like to build medical centers first because that gives a bonus to amenities 10, but it also gives population growth plus 10%. So I like to build them first. And there's also a number of level of these you can upgrade over time to boost the population growth and amenities. And then if needed, then I can go and do that at a bit later date. Now, and you also keep in factor you need extra housing and keep your populations employed, and that helps increase the stability of the planet. All right, so let's move on to something a little bit more complicated. So because we haven't got tech trees, I'm going to use the Stellaris tech tree, and I'm going to go through a few things. With the leaders, when you have leaders like this, society, New Worlds research plus 15%. What that means is if you have him as leading your tech tree for society, here it means any techs with a new world focus, so it'd be a new world here, have a higher chance of being rolled every time you do a new tech. The 3 choices you get, it means that this leader, because he's got the new worlds trait, will have a higher chance of rolling technologies available for research with the new worlds trait, although he doesn't have any here at the moment. They're all military theory. And I'll show you what I mean, and that's the same for each scientist. His traits, we'll get to Hugh here. He's got Voidcraft. Voidcraft will actually help you with ships, ship classes. It'll help you like with things like reducing the cost, the maintenance of ships, the build cost of ships, getting the build speed of ships up, things like that. Star bases, I believe, as well. But what we'll do is we'll have a look at the Stellaris tech tree so that you understand. And I'll run through a couple of examples of just how involved the tech tree is. It's not just a simple, here's every time you research a tech, you get 3 random techs. It is a random draw card, but there are factors that you can control. So this is the Stellaris tech tree, and I'm looking here. The main one is I'm looking at moats there, but I want to go to engineering first. Look at this one, holographic casts. It's a tier 1 technology. It costs 1,000 science, weight 90. So it should be an early tech to get, and this is like your Forges technologies in Star Trek. This boosts your alloy production quite significantly, and then getting this one even more. So this is a tech that lots of Stellaris players try to get early. Now here is the difficulty of getting this technology to actually appear in your draw card, because it will not appear unless you do certain things. Even though it's a tier 1 technology, you'd think it would appear in the first number of technologies you do, but that is not the case. And this is why some people are probably having difficulty getting certain text to appear in Star Trek. So, and I'll show you. So the holographic casts, actually I'll just show here, we can actually bring that up. So the holographic casts, so all must be true. Has technology moat stabilization, has technology volatile material plants. So to get this technology to appear as an option, you need to have one of these technologies be done. Or has the market access country flag, which means you have the market access to the item this produces, which is a moat. Now another factor, so it won't appear unless you have one of those technologies. Okay, it's a 0 chance, 0 must be, one of them must be true. Okay, so there's no chance at all of this technology appearing unless you've done those. Then you've got a 1.25 chance, so basically increased 25% chance of the tech being appearing in your tech roll if it is a materialist expert. So if we had a materialist expert in our engineering, so, and he is a Voidcraft, so I'd need to find a scientist who has a materialist, if I've got one at all. Let's have a look. Normally it's an industry looking symbol. That's industry. Materials, there we go. So that's the guy I would need to put in. Let's just put him in for now, let's just say. I would need him in there, which would give me a higher chance, a 25% higher chance of rolling moat stabilization if this was Stellaris. If you are a technocracy, that's a civic in Stellaris. You would also have a higher chance of rolling it. And what that says to me is some of the game's civics that you may have here would likely impact the technology roll as well. But we don't know that for sure because we don't have access to all the details yet. But that may be a factor which can impact it. But that's, that's just a little bit of guesswork by me because it's the same as Stellaris, but we don't know for 100%. Is a subject type Prospectorium, but that's being a vassal in Stellaris, so don't worry about that. So the main things that Stellaris players are aiming for is to try and get moat stabilization and volatile moat plants and have a materialist expert to give us the best chance possible of rolling that technology. Now here's the catch. Let's go and have a look at moat stabilization technology. Okay, moat stabilization is here. Now, first thing notice, it's a tier 2 technology. Now, the technologies are weighted in tiers, starting at tier 1. Now, tier 1 technologies would be a technology like this one here. I'm pretty sure this is a tier 1 technology. It could be tier 2, but it's based on the expense of the tech. You can see here, this is 2,500, and you can see this one here is 16,000. So this would be a significantly higher tier. I'm not exactly sure what tier this would be. It could be a tier 4, could be tier 5. I don't really know because I don't have a tech tree to base it off. So we'll just pick another tech here, and you can see here one's 11,000, 3,000. So they are slightly different in techs. You got 2,500, 3,000. So there could be a lot of different tiers in Star Trek Infinite, or it might just be there's slightly different costs within each tier. We don't really know yet. But here's the kicker. To research tier 2 technologies, such as the moat stabilization, which is here, you first need to have researched 6 tier 1 technologies like this. So this technology won't even appear as an option until I've researched 6 tier 1 technologies first. That takes a fair bit of time, even though the technology for the holographic casts is a tier 1 technology. But this tier 1 technology won't appear minimum until I've first researched 6 tier 2 technologies, and then you've got a chance of moat stabilization appearing. Now, to have moat stabilization appearing, because it's a physics technology, you need some of these to be true. The biggest thing you can influence is having a particle experts scientist, which will give you a 25% chance to increase this roll. So I always try to make sure I've got a particle experts in Stellaris as one of my scientists as I approach that tier, researching 6 tier 1 technologies. Because then I know, right, once I finish my 6th one, I've got a 25% chance extra of rolling the tech I want, which is this one, if I've got a particle experts in there. Now, all must be true as well, or false. It's got a 0% chance if any planet has a dust caverns, dust desert, or industrial, has a deposit industrial sector. So you need to have at least one of these as well, or a deposit as well within your borders, which is a moats deposit. So if you've actually got the strategic resource within your empire, it will also allow this tech to be available after you've done 6 tier 1 technologies. So it increases the chance of that happening. Or if you've got a deposit, this is like it's a planetary feature. So I'll just show you quickly. So it would appear like under here, it would be a planetary feature, which gives you more strategic resources. Like it would appear like under here if I've got any planets, say like this with a special feature, and it might be this one, and it gives me +2 moats on that planet once I'm able to use that blocker and build the building. That means then, because it's within my borders, I've got a chance of that moat stabilization tech appearing. So you can see with the technologies, not only can it be your scientist has to have the right trait, which is particle experts, you then also have a higher chance if you have a strategic resource which you could develop on one of your planets. Then if you have a strategic resource you've already built, like say around an asteroid, or you've built a mining, like around a star or something, and you've got that strategic resource like we do in Star Trek, where we've got some strategic resources, like where I've got one here. See, I've got, what's this one called? Gravitons. That could have been a moat in Stellaris, right? And because I built it, this could now give me access to other technologies that require this strategic resource. So that's what you need to keep in mind as well. It's not only technologies that you need to have researched like prior ones, or example 6 tier 1 technologies to access tier 2 technologies. You might also have to have a strategic resource within your borders available that will then give you a higher chance for certain technologies to appear in the random roll, as well as having the specific scientist trait which will also increase the chance for that to roll. So don't neglect building your strategic resources and having at least some of them available. Now, see, I haven't even got Tetrions available at the moment. I thought I did, but no, I don't actually at the moment. So I haven't built that one. So I should probably try and get that one somewhere in my space, or build the building for it so that I can make sure I'm getting all the technologies, because I might be missing a technology I'm not even aware of. And that's the thing, because it's a new game, we're not really sure. So back to this. So now I researched this technology, this tier 2 technology. Now it goes back to the engineering with the holographic cast. Now that I've done that moat stabilization tech, this tier 1 tech now has a chance of appearing, because I've done moat stabilization or this material, or the volatile material plants. Or the difference in between these two is only this one accesses a natural strategic resource, like on an asteroid or planet, or from like a space resource. This converts minerals into that resource. It's a building you build on a planet. So that's the difference between the two, but they both give you that strategic resource. So I make sure I've got material experts once I've completed my moat stabilization technology for my engineering scientist, because now I know I've completed that, I've got that, and I've got the best chance possible of rolling this technology, or having the best chance of it appearing. It normally would appear. It often appears straight away. Sometimes it might be the second or third tech later that it appears, but it will normally appear if you get all those things right. If you don't get those things right, sometimes I've been unlucky, and I haven't seen this technology till like 100 years into the game. If you get really unlucky, other games, I'll have this technology when I do everything right, have the right scientist on, I've got the moats in my empire, I've got all the right, everything's done, the right scientist, and it'll appear by year 16, 17, which means I can then roll through and build this building much, much faster. I might get it by about year 20, which really increases my alloy production, which means I can get more military fleets out and that type of thing, similar to like in Star Trek with building ships. So you can see there, and this is just using simple tier 1, tier 2 techs that you need in order to progress up the tech tree. So I just wanted to give that example so that people are thinking, oh, it's just this random draw card, it's just complete rubbish. It's not. There are other factors that you just aren't aware of, and probably not many of us are aware of at this point, that will increase the draw rate for those technologies that you're chasing. So let's have a look at the tech tree that we've done for Star Trek. Now, let's say I wanted to let's look at research techs. Like a lot of people complain about the power. Power is a problem for the ships, because you can't you can't get those new weapons you've been researching. That you can't put those new shields on and those type of things. So let's go down here and let's just find a power core. Right. So this power core here, it's one of the early ones, and it's an industry tech. So to maximize your chance that we know of to get a power core, this technology, you need to have a industry scientist on here. Now, do I currently have that on there? I don't think I do. No. So I would want to go and find a industry leader on here. If my ships are suffering and I can't get all my new weapons, and I think I'm going to be at war soon, well, I really need to get that technology. I really need to get extra power for my ships. And luckily I've got a scientist there I can assign. So let's assign her. So now, once this technology is completed, I've given myself the best chance possible to roll one of these newer power cores, whatever the next level is. Now, I don't know if there's any strategic resources or anything else which would affect these technologies. So that's beyond our ability to know at the moment, without diving into the code and finding that out. But that's just a way you can increase your chances of getting more power cores. Make sure you got the industry leader, the industry trait on your scientist to give you the best chance possible. And the way you look at your research techs and go, oh, I haven't had a new tech design, a new ship design for a while. And some of these, I think these are all locked behind time periods as well. I think the Intrepid's like 50 years, and then the next one's like 75, and then 100 and 150 years. So that some of these texts can also be time locked, like they might not appear until 75 or 100 years in the game, and there are some texts like that in Stellaris as well. But to give you the best chance of rolling the next ship class, you want a Voidcraft trait, okay? Or if you are going for you want some world improvements, you want to get some more planetary buildings and stuff like that. Planetary build speed is a good one, and one of the best texts to get, or best traits to put on early for your society leaders, is the New Worlds trait, because they do things like this. The planetary build speed, they remove tile blockers, or give you the option to remove them. And planetary build speed is really, really important, because it means you can build all of those districts which normally take so long to build. You're talking a year or longer, 400 something days, or I think it starts with 500 days, I think it is. It gets it down significantly when you've got some cost reductions. So keep that in mind when you are looking at your technologies. So it's a matter of just learning the tech tree and what you're going for. So, and don't be afraid to switch your scientists in and out. Switch them from, you might want to make sure that, okay, I might want to have certain traits available in the future, and you go to your leaders and go, okay, I can't bring it up now because, well, let's just kill someone, get rid of someone. Let's get rid of someone else. Okay. So you bring up the pool now. Oh, my guys have all got nasty traits. Yeah, they all suck. So I won't be employing any of them. They're all crap. So, but you'd probably want to go in here and go, oh, I need a Voidcraft guy for the future because I want to try and get the Intrepids in 5 years from now. So I'm going to hire that guy. I'm going to put him on a science ship and get him out, leveling him up, surveying out there until I sort of need him. Then I'm going to swap him into my engineering, and when I finished a couple more texts, so that to give me a better chance of rolling the Intrepid class or the next level of ship that you're after. So just keep that in mind, and you can work that out yourself by going through some of your tech trees, your research technologies, and just seeing what the traits are and giving yourself the best ability to do that. Now keep in mind too, you've got policies and edicts as well. So there's different policies here which will give you research bonuses as well for different costs. So if you think some of these edicts would benefit you, then use them, because there are a number of them here which can increase your research speed, like Chekhov's law, but it does increase the pop upkeep. That's 20% output. I'm not using it at the moment, but you certainly can. So that's a pretty good one. And I've noticed there are a number of them here, like, well, that's science ship build costs. Renewed charter, there it is, 5% research speed, nominal research speed plus 10%, monthly energy credits minus 10%. So to me, that seems like a bit of a steep price, but you could certainly still do it. So keep an eye on that. In your policies, like leader education, doesn't really affect research so much, but the leader level cap, it could. The higher your leaders, the better the output of the scientist. It's because if you have a look at the leaders, and you look at your scientists, that gives you a percentage boost to your technology. If you have a look at the technology here, you can see there scientist skill plus 8%, because he is a level 4. Every level gives plus 2% boost to your speed, or your research speed there. So you can see there he's a level 10, he's 10% because he's a level 5. So keep that in mind as well. So you can see there that research, it's not just a simple, random draw card. It's not. There are a lot of factors that can impact it. And because it's a new game, we don't know all the impacts of what that is. But hopefully we'll get a tech tree in the future which will highlight a lot of these details, and we better work it out in a lot more detail. But I just wanted to point that out because I've seen a lot of complaints about it, and I wanted to show you how involved it can be and intricate it can be, and the planning and the things that you can do to impact the change at this point in the game. And once we know a bit more about the tech tree and what impacts it with such things as, because you can get things like your traditions, which can also impact it. Like doing this research tradition, this could give me an extra bonus for certain technologies to appear, because it does do it in Stellaris. So I would imagine some of these like commerce ones may impact some of the trade and energy output bonus text that appear. So you got to keep an eye on things like that as well. And probably things we'll notice over time as we play more and more what may appear. So keep that in mind. It's not just a simple random draw card. There's lots of things that can affect the technology output. And with a bit of planning, you can help increase your chances of getting the right technologies. So this is going to be part of a tutorial series I'll be doing. I wanted to focus on technology now because it is quite an important area of the game, a big area of the game, and it's, if I include it with other things, it's just too much for one video. So I'm going to leave it there for now, so that people can comment on it. And please give me some comments on some things. I might have missed some points, and put them in the comments for me, because by no means do I know everything about this game. It's new to all of us. I'm only drawing my lessons from Stellaris and what I know here about the game engine, and I'm pretty sure that it works very, very similar, because it's basically based off, well, it is based off of Stellaris. So, all right, if you like this video helps you with working out your science a little bit better, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, give me your comments, your feedback, and let me know, positive or negative, let me know if this helps you or not. And tune in next time for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.